So this was the second forward path, and the loop which was not touching the second forward path was this loop, that was L1. So delta 2 would be 1 minus the loop gain. The loop gain here is minus G2 G3 H1. So minus of minus will be, that is, if I'm writing it this way, it is 1 minus of minus, it is G2, then G3 H1. So it becomes minus of minus becomes plus, minus of minus is plus. So from the Mason's again formula, now Mason's formula, how do we write the transfer function? Again, transfer function equation, the transfer function equation will be like this. The transfer function equation will be TF will be equal to, it is forward path into delta 1 plus forward path 2 into delta 2, the entire thing divided by delta. So the whole equation has to be divided by delta. So it is the P1 into delta 1 plus P2 into delta 2. Entire equation, full equation, this entire numerator has to be divided by delta. So delta value we have already calculated. Now substituting P1 was equal to G1, P1 is here, P1 is nothing but, we see P1 is this value, G1, G2, G3, G4, then into delta 1 is 1, then your L2, P2 is G2, sorry G6, G6 into the delta 2 value is 1 plus G2, G3, H1, that is into G6, then divided by entire delta. This is the entire delta value. This one is the entire delta value. We will have to divide it. So this will give you, this is more easier than the block diagram reduction. Directly you write these equations, substitute in this, and you'll find the transfer function. Now let us go to the second problem. Let us see how we can do the second problem. We have to find the transfer function for this. So the transfer function is nothing but pk delta k divided by delta. So how many forward, first we have to find out k value. How many forward paths do we have? In this case we have two forward paths. See, one is this forward path I have written here. One forward path is G1, G2, G3. This is the first forward path that we have. This will be the first forward path. It is 1 into G1 into G2 into G3 into 1. So it is G1, G2, G3. Then what is the second forward path? What will be the second forward path? This will be the second forward path. G4 we have. This is the first forward path and this will be the second forward path. So two forward path we have. What about the loops? How many loops do we have? Do we have any loops here? Yes, we have one loop. Then we have the second loop. And also we have the third loop here. We have three loops. See here how many loops we have. You write down this circuit and as I'm explaining, please refer to the circuit. First forward path, as I said, 1 into G1, G2, G3, 1 into 1. So finally it is G1, G2, G3. Second forward path, 1 into it is, and I'm writing, I have to write it as 1 into G4 into 1. So this is nothing but G4, the gain of this forward path. This forward path, the gain of this forward path is 1. Then it comes here G4 into 1. 1 G4 into 1. Similarly, loop, this is the first loop. This will be the first loop. What is the gain of this loop? It is G2 into minus H minus H1. It is minus H1. So the same thing is G2 into H1. What is the loop? Second, which is the second loop? This is the second loop. What is the gain of that second loop? It is G1 into G2 into, it is G2. I'm not able to write it properly, but whatever possible, I'm trying to write into G1. This is plus, this value is C. This is plus H1. So this is plus H1, not minus. So it is G1, G2, H1. This was G2 minus H1, whereas this is G1, G2 plus H1. So next, what is the third loop? What would be the third loop? Which is the third loop? This is the third loop. It is G2, G3 and minus H2. See, it is G2, G3 and minus H2. Any non-touching loop? Do we have any non-touching loop? This is for the 1 and 2, the first loop and the second loop. If we look, this is a first loop. This is the first loop that we have. This is the first loop and this is the second loop. This will be the common point. So there is no question of non-touching. Then what about for the second and third? This is the second loop and this is the third loop and this will be the common point. What about for the first, and this will be the first and this is the second. Again, this is the third one. This is a common point. So there is no non-touching at all in this. Either of them, they keep touching. They have a common node. So there is no non-touching loop in this. Then coming to the delta 1. What is delta 1? This is a forward path. We have a forward path and there is no loop which is not touching any of the nodes in the forward path. So delta 1 will be 1 here. What about delta 2? Delta 2, what is a forward path? This is a forward path. Do we have delta 2 here? Yes, we have delta 2. How many loops are there? See here. There are all these 3 loops. They do not touch all these 3 loops. They do not touch this forward path at all. This is a forward path and this is between node 2 and 7 and all the loops that we have here is between 3 and 5. They don't touch 2 and 7 at all. So all these 3 can be written in delta 2, that is 1 plus L1 plus L2 plus L3 will be delta 2. So now substituting in the transfer function. What is the transfer function again here? This will be first will be T1 into delta 1 plus T2 into delta 2 divided by the entire delta, value. This is the transfer function. Now substituting all the values, we find the transfer function. This is the second problem. In case you have a doubt, please give me a call and we can verify the doubt. Now let us go to the third problem. Here the equation is given and based on the equation the signal flow is written and from this we have to deduce the transfer function. X2 is given X1. X1 is input that the source node. X1 into G1 is X2, as well as from X4 there is a minus G1 G2 signal from X4 minus G2. Then X3 G3 into X2. Then it is same node G4 means it is a self loop. Then X4 will be G5 into X1. From X1 there is a signal that is coming. This is G5. Then from X3 also there is a signal which will get multiplied with G6. So this is the signal. Now for this signal we have to draw the nodes. We have to write the nodes, that is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this we have given different value. That is the node is written. Then now how many forward paths do we have? Now if you are first try to do this by yourself. This is one forward path and this is another forward path. Okay, please write minus here, minus is left over. So this will be the second forward path. So what is the gain of this forward path? G1, G3, G6. Gain of this forward path will be, it is going from, see what is the gain? 1 into G5, G5 into 1. So total it is only G5. It is G5. What about the gain of this? Gain of this forward path? Gain of this forward path, it is 1 into G1 into G3 into G6 into 1 again. So total it is G1, G3, G6. 1 from this end and 1 from this end gain. So that is nothing but G1, G3, G6. Gain for outer one will be 1 into G5 into 1. That is by nothing but G5. So what about the loop here? How many? Now we had two forward path. What about the number of loops? How many loops do we have? We have one loop here. This is one loop. And do we have any other loop here? G4 is, there is a self loop here. Self loop. So that will be G4. So this is G3, G6 minus G2. This is minus, so it is minus G2. Then a self loop. There is a self loop here, which is nothing but G4. It is not minus, so it is plus G4. Sorry, it is here. I wrote it here, but it is actually here, G4. What about delta P? Now delta, it is 1 minus L1, L2. Do we have non-touching loops? No, they are not non-touching because this loop, your self loop is here, the self loop is here, over here, and this is the one more loop. This will be the common node. So there is no non-touching loop at all. Delta 1 forward path, all the nodes are common. So it is 1. In most of the cases it will be 1. Delta 2, this is a forward path and this is the only loop which doesn't touch, which is there and which doesn't have a common node with this loop, with this, for this forward path. This loop doesn't have a common node with this forward path. So because it is not having a common node, we can write it as 1 minus G4, that is delta 2. Now again substituting. What is the formula? What is the formula for the transfer function? It is P1 into delta 1 plus P2 into delta 2, the entire equation divided by entire numerator divided by the whole of delta. So this, when you're substituting this for all the individual values, you will find the transfer function. Hopefully you have all understood. If not, please get back to me and clarify your doubts. And now if a block diagram is given, for the given block diagram, this will be the signal flow graph. For the signal flow graph, again we have to find the transfer function. See, this is the how many for this. See how we have drawn the block diagram will be given. You have to, in the red color I have written the nodes. It has initially discussed 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 1 to 2 there is no gain is not shown, so it is 1. 2 to 3 there is a signal flow and the gain would be G1. 3 to 4 G3. 4 to 5 1 again. 5 to 6 there is one more 0.6, it is H1. From 6 to 2 it is H2, it is minus, it is going to minus value. Here it is plus, so it is plus H1, whereas here it is negative, it is minus H2. From G1 to G6 it is minus G4, it is minus G4. It has